Hey folks, I am back with another project demonstration. So I just finished up my advanced C++ class for the semester, and this is our second project that we've actually done in this semester. But this was a group project. I did this with a couple other guys, and we built ourselves an adventure game. So something kind of fun. We just did something we wanted to, something a little more whimsical. So let's get in. I've got a PowerPoint, and then I'll show you the game, and we'll show you what's going on here. So, this was our game idea. We wanted to have it'll be a graphic game, mostly done with text. So, static images that change as you move around and things, mostly a lot of text. We made this in the Qt framework, so we used the Qt IDE. And we wanted to have just a simple interface, just buttons to move around with, static images that change. And there's going to be a map and various locations you can go to. We want to have a navigation panel, and so there's going to be some additional options and commands that you can select in that navigation panel. So checking your inventory, looking at a journal, camping, quitting the game, things like that, they're all going to be in the navigation panel. And then it would also have combat, and the combat is a turn-based combat system that you can fight monsters or an end boss at the end of the game. So, and that was our idea, and what we made was actually pretty much just that. So it pretty much came out like we'd wanted to, which is a good thing. So we did add some additional stuff. We added some story elements and things to the game, and inventory systems, a few things that we hadn't envisioned, but we had time to do later. And for the art for the game, none of us are artists, and I didn't really want to snip other people's art from the internet, so we use the DALL-E AI image generator to make all the art for the game, and that actually worked out really well. So we could just tell it what we wanted and just make us things for us. So that was perfect for this project. So this is the navigation panel. So this is where we're gonna all these are buttons except for health and potions. All the rest are buttons that you can interact with. And this is how you move around the map. You can go north or west or east or south. You can open your journal, inventory. You can search the area. You can camp to regenerate health, or you can quit the game. And the health and the potions, they will update, as you expect they would. And so every single area of the map that you go to is going to have a full description, and there's a bit of a story woven into it. If you search the area and there is an item to find, not all areas have items, it'll give you a description of that as well. We did make an inventory system. That's the center panel there. And when you have the inventory, when you loot an area, search an area, you're going to get that item put directly into your inventory, and then you can see it in your bag, and you can click on it. It gives you a little description, and if it has a use, then you can use the use button. And in certain places you can use certain items and things. It's kind of a fun thing. We'll run through the whole game, and I'll kind of show you the way it's designed to work. And then lastly, the journal is going to record every single thing that you do in the game. So every time you go to a new area, it's going to save the description. Every time you search, it's going to tell you what you found, if anything. And if you camped, it'll tell you that you camped and regenerated health, all the things. Just kept in an ongoing log of sorts, a journal, which is kind of a fun little touch. So the way we started this thing is really we started with a map. So we created a map, and we just kind of defined the area, the scope, the size of the game. It was going to be a small game. We knew that. And it kind of let us spell out what we were going to be traversing through. And that also kind of influenced the story as well. So it's like, okay, what are we going to do in this map? So that's kind of where we started. We built a real simple GUI to begin with, just a title screen and a game scene. And then we started figuring out ways to move and update all the scenes as if we're moving around the map. So that actually worked pretty good. And then from there we added the item system, the inventory system, the battle system, all that got added in after that. And the tools we're using, so we were using the Qt IDE to make this. So we use the Qt framework. Most of our discussion stuff, our collaboration things, we did in a Discord channel. So we had that going. That was really handy for just sharing ideas and files and things. It was great. But then all of our code, we have that in a GitHub repository, and we'll have the link to that at the end of the video. So that was our main workflow there. And so in conclusion, we were pretty pleased with the game. It's actually kind of a fun little playthrough to do. It's just interesting enough with the items that you have to use and the combat stuff, and it's all kind of fun. We've never made a game before, so this is us just trying stuff and demonstrating our C++ abilities. So yep, everything came out pretty good, and we had additional features that we didn't initially plan for. So. And this was our team, Benjamin and Anthony and myself. We wrote all the code and all the bits for that. And finally, and this is going to be our GitHub link. So this is where all the code is. If anybody wants, it's open. It's not a private repo or anything. If anybody wants to pull it down and play with it, that is there to play with. So let's take just a quick glance at the code. So again, we were doing Qt for all of this, which kind of made it nice. There was a lot of the GUI components were all built into that. So we leaned pretty heavily into the Qt framework. We tried to keep everything pretty organized. We got everything off into the classes. Obviously, our main window logic was for all the graphical bits, the navigation, all that stuff was defined there. We've got player classes and weapon classes and item classes. We have enemies and battles. Area and map, those are kind of tied together, so the map will hold areas that you can go to. And like I said, everything, we tried to keep it pretty clean and concise on the code. Tried to not get too mucky with it. But that's all fine and good. But let us take a look at the game itself. So here it is. And again, it's just going to be static images and text. But it's, like I said, it's kind of fun. I will spoil it. So if you don't want spoilers, then you're done now and you can move along. But for those who don't care, every page that you go to, every area, is going to have a full description. And this is your navigation panel down here. If you search the area, in this case, there's nothing defined in here to search. Our inventory is empty at the start, and we could find enemies. The way the find enemy button works, we decided to just have a button that you can just click on and summon an enemy if you want to fight him. We didn't plan it to where you'd go to a certain area and the enemy would spawn. They're not randomly spawned. We just kind of decided to do it this way, and that works. And you can also camp if your health is low or if you want to regenerate it. The journal is here, and there's not much because we've only just started, and we searched once. That's all in here. And then you can quit the game. If you're just done, you just want to be done, you can just quit the game from here. But I'm going to do a super quick, like, speed run style run through of the game. So I will do spoilers to get to the end. So in here we have a place. If we search here, in this case, there's a hidden key here. So an old key, you find it, now it's in your bag. And you can try to use it once it's highlighted, but nothing interesting happens. As you imagine, using a key in the woods doesn't do much. And we'll go back through the map and we find a little a farmhouse, and we can search. Oh, we found a key. And also, when you get to edges of the map, if you try to go in places where you can't, then it will just, the navigation buttons will just turn blocked and you just can't go that way. So we can go up back through the woods. We get to a village. We're going to get a handy dandy axe. Again, I'm just going to speed run this. I won't give you all the story bits because that's no fun to watch. But now that we have this axe, we can go back into the woods, and you can go into any the tiles that are woods tiles or woods areas. And if we go to our inventory, woodcutter's axe, and we can use it. And now we cut down a tree and we have a cut log in our bag. So that's kind of cool. What do we do with a cut log? Well, I'll tell you exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna go find a weird old man in the village dump who wants wood, and we're gonna give it to him. So here we are. We're gonna use the cut log, and we give it to him, and he gives us in return a steak, which is not really what we wanted. A cooked steak. So we can use that steak, and he said, oh, wait a minute, that was a mistake, and he gives us a wooden steak instead. That's what we wanted, a wooden steak. It's a bit of humor in there for us. So we can leave now. I've got the wooden steak in our bag. And then if I head north here, there's an alchemist cottage. I can search that down. Oh, look, hey, I've got some more alchemy potions. So that increased my potion count to 9. That is way a lot of potions. And then I'm gonna skate straight to the end. Now we've come up to the boss castle, if you will, the little mini castle dungeon here that we have. And if I did not have the key, then I couldn't get into here. But since, you know, I kind of ruined it, we already have the key. I can make it through the front door with the key. You unlock the door. And there's some hallways and some things that you can dart around in here. Oh, here's a treasure chest. You can search that. And you get a letter. And you can read a letter. Oh, geez, what's going on here? Something scary. And then if we go north, this is like our final boss room. So we find a vampire guy. So that's our final boss. Hence, we needed a stake and a hammer. So the way this works, so we can, now that we're here, we can find enemy. And we're going to find the boss. Like, he's got the most health and all the stuff like you'd expect a boss to have. And this is our combat system here. So we just have our own health bar and the boss's health bar. And we can do an attack, a heavy attack. We can defend. We can use a potion to regen health. Or we can just leave the fight. So we can just walk away unscathed, I guess. But let's run through the combat. So every action, there's like a dice roll, if you will, to decide if it lands, if it defends, all that kind of stuff. It's hidden from the player. But oh geez, he's about to kill me. Let's use a potion. I'm gonna do an attack. Oh, he's hurting me again. Another potion. I'm gonna defend this round so he can't hurt me. And then I'm gonna attack. Oh, I'm missing a lot. Heavy attack. Oh, he got me. Do I risk it? Okay, I'm gonna use another potion. We'll kill him. Okay. Aim is true. He collapsed on the ground. Now, if I didn't have the hammer and the stake, he wouldn't die. He'd still be alive, and we'd have to leave and come back with the stuff because we wouldn't be able to kill him. But since we already have that stuff, again, I've ruined the game for everybody. Then he dies. We win the game. He turns to dust, and that's it. So we've killed the final boss in the game. We're gonna leave, and then there we go. We've got gold and loot, and everybody lives happily ever after. So that is the whole game in its entirety. And that is all I got. That's the whole project. But it was actually a really fun project to build. And actually, if you take your time through the game, it's actually kind of fun to kind of read the descriptions and get a sense of kind of the story stuff that we put in place. We didn't have time for here. But that's it. That's all I've got. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.